Hey, JulesBlessedVegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So we're talking about 10 ways to love yourself more and 20 traps that humans tend to fall into at some point in their life. It doesn't matter what your culture is, it doesn't matter when you live on the planet or where you live on the planet. These are just human conditions that people tend to experience. So yay for heads up, right? All right, let's go ahead and talk about ways to love yourself first. Way number 3, blast your favorite songs and dance around the house. So yes, oh my gosh, I love that. I'll tell Alexa to turn it up to level 10, and then I will just go for it like no one's watching. To be fair, my dogs are watching and they get super excited because they want to dance with me, which would probably go viral if I dared to make a video of it. But yeah, that's one way to show yourself self-love. Blast your favorite song and dance around the house like no one's watching. Even better, you're good for an audience, even better. All right, our 13th trap is the trap of assuming we know what we don't. The trap of assuming we know what we don't. You know, I'm guilty of this for sure. First of all, I was raised in a household that either told me that I better have an answer or that when I gave the answer, I was wrong. Even though I was right, it was my truth, but I was told what my truth would be. So the idea of feeling like I better know or else was a big thing for me for years, where I just felt like I had to have an answer. I fall into that sometimes when I'm feeling insecure. I forget to pause before I respond, but I've certainly come so far in not feeling like I have to have the answer. There's something very freeing in saying, I'll get back to you on that, or I'm not sure, but let me look it up, or like that's just not my thing, right? I just don't know that. So it's interesting, even as a teacher of students, the students expect the teacher to know everything. The teacher should know. They're a teacher. And I have to tell them all the time, well, I do know many things. And yes, I'm a career teacher. The beauty is to be able to admit that I don't know, but that I'm willing to research. I'm willing to find that answer, which kind of brings me to my second point. On the internet, where we see things in print all the time, and because they're in print, they're probably true. Of course, that often does not pan out, and I all too quickly share things without investigating. And there's a couple of internet police that will write me and say, Juliana, I looked that up on Snope and it wasn't even true. Please stop spreading rumors. It's been proven not true. Do you know that that's 7 years old? And even 7 years ago, it wasn't true. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just see it as God working through people to let me know. So let's get into the trap of assuming we know what we don't. You've probably met some self-appointed know-it-alls, and that's actually a hyperlink if you want to read more about know-it-alls in your lifetime. People who present themselves as experts on every subject. They can get pretty annoying. Don't become one yourself. Man, isn't that so true? Where you just go, oh, here we go again. What don't you know is what I'll say to them. Like, are you kidding me? It's okay not to know is another thing I often say. Okay, it's reported that human knowledge, and let me humor you because I don't know what year. 1 second. Okay, so this was actually just written in December 2020, so we can take it as a valid data when it says it's reported that human knowledge doubles every 13 months. Human knowledge, like all the knowledge available to the world, doubles every 13 months. And according to IBM, the expansion of the Internet of Things will lead to the doubling of human knowledge every 12 hours. Wow, right? It doesn't mean we have access to it. It doesn't mean we'll ever locate or buy into all of that's available. But just on the planet, the amount of human information is first doubling every 13 months, now with the Internet doubling every 12 hours. I think we can safely agree that there are plenty of things that you don't know. Same for me, same for every other human being. Straight up. So when you think you know something, do everyone a favor and confirm your knowledge. Do some personal fact checking. Try to separate true knowledge from things you picked up as a kid. Isn't that so true? I'll have students share things with me and I'll just go, oh my gosh, like you've been walking around with that in your head and thinking that that's a fact this whole time? Wow, right? Given how fast knowledge is growing and how fast so-called knowledge is changing, you might just be wrong. Finally, remember that even though the internet is a powerful knowledge tool, it's not infallible. Just because it says so on your screen doesn't mean it's true. Let's say that again. Remember that even though the internet is a powerful knowledge tool, it is not infallible. Just because it says so on your screen doesn't mean it's true. Don't assume that you know what you don't. Don't even assume that you know what you may know. Like, look it up, check it. And then it says, as Ronald Reagan, and in case you don't know that, that was a Republican president in the United States around 1980. As Ronald Reagan used to say, trust, but verify. That's a good one. That's such a good one. And like I said, I'm guilty of reposting and forwarding things without checking. But the universe, via various friends and things, will immediately say, Jules, remove that fast. It's not true. My bad. All right. That's it, my friends. Dance like no one's watching, and don't assume that you know, and even if you think you know, fact check. All right, like if you like, join us if you haven't subscribed. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you, and until we talk again, best of all, know that you are blessed, and that's a fact.